Hi, everybody. It's Erin Johnson with OutstandingOhio.com. I'm here today with another Tool Time Tuesday, tips and tools helping you to make your life easier. I'm here today with Marsha Friedman. She is the founder of MEF Consulting Group. She's a leadership and personal development coach, but she has also written a book called Job Search Mastery, which is tips for people searching for jobs. And I know in this market, there's a lot of people out there looking and maybe frustrated and could use some tips. So Marsha's going to share more about that. But just to get started, Marsha, what was your inspiration for the book? Why did you write this book?
Well, in part of my work, I work with a job search coaching group and our job search networking group. And I have had the opportunity over the past 3 years to really get to know the obstacles that are in front of job seekers, especially if they're in a job search that lasts longer than they anticipate that it will.
Mm-hmm.
And because of the information that I've gleaned from these job seekers and the obstacles that they deal with, I originally put together a presentation about those job search obstacles. And this year I decided to turn that presentation into a book so I could get this information out to more people and really help more people with their job search.
That's great. So, what can you tell us more about these job searching groups? I know there's a couple of them in the area, right?
Yeah, in Northeast Ohio, there are at least 4 to 6 different job search groups that cater to the needs of different types of job seekers. The one that I'm involved in, Summit Networking Group, really focuses on people who are mid-level managers and above. And it's an opportunity for them to network with each other, to get information about other companies that they could potentially get help getting warm connections in. It also gives them the opportunity to be around other people who are going through the same thing they are. So they get that support and the camaraderie of someone who is in the same position. And they also learn from each other, because certainly the obstacles that I'm dealing with might not be something that you're dealing with, and you can help each other that way as well. So that's the benefit of job search groups. There's the North Canton Executive Networking Group down in Greene that meets, and Hudson Job Search, and there's also North Coast Job Seekers that meets as well. And all of these groups are meeting virtually now. And most of them have websites, so it's easy to get contact information to get involved in those job search groups. And in addition to those, the state of Ohio has Ohio Means Jobs, and in every county, they have an Ohio Means Jobs group that provides training and support for people who are in job search, and that's for every level of job seeker.
That's great. I mean, that's a ton of resources out there. And like you said, just to have that moral support and somebody going through the same thing as you so you don't feel isolated and discouraged. And that's awesome that that's out there. And I think a lot of people probably don't know about them. So we'll definitely share some links to that stuff with the group. So what would you say from your experience in your book? What are the 3 most important tips that you would give to job seekers today?
So the first tip that I would give job seekers is that you need to go into the job search not assuming that your job is going to be a sprint. When I was asked to take early retirement back in 2013 and started a job search the following year, I thought that because I had just gotten a master's degree and I had 30 years of experience and all successful, that I would just be one giant leap to my next job. And that didn't happen for me, and it hasn't happened for a lot of other people who are in job search.
Yeah.
And understanding that is really important, because if you think of your job search as a marathon rather than a sprint, and you approach it the same way someone who is trying to approach a first-time marathoner would, you've got to look at yourself from head to toe. It really is a head-to-toe endeavor. You need to look at both the inside and the outside. How are you physically taking care of yourself? How are you emotionally taking care of yourself? And how are you providing yourself the mental support you need as well? Because you're going to go through a real period of ups and downs emotionally in the job search. So how you take care of yourself is really the first place that I would start.
Yeah,
The
very
second
important.
thing, yeah, the second thing that I would tell job seekers is it's really important to be willing to ask for help. Now, as human beings, we're really good at giving help to other people. We always want to offer our help and support. But as job seekers, we want to come across as being confident and competent and self-reliant, but sometimes that gets in our way. And as a job seeker, we need to drop down a little bit and ask for support. So it's in terms of networking, it's in terms of looking for help that you might need. Maybe it's working on your resume, maybe it's some of your interviewing skills, maybe you're just having a bad day and you need somebody to help get you back up. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Asking for help is really important. There's a book that I recommend, I found it recently, called um, All You Have to Do Is Ask. And it's
Okay.
about asking for help. And the author of that book, Wayne Baker, says that we over-rely on self-reliance. So this problem of not asking for help is widespread. It's not just with job seekers, it's widespread throughout the humanity.
Right. And you have to be specific in what you want help with if you really want the results.
Absolutely. And you have to be specific not only with what you want help with, but also when you need the help.
Mm.
And that's a really critical part of asking for help. It's not just I need help, but it's be very specific. You can even use the acronym, the SMART acronym that you use for setting goals, to use when you're asking for help. So
Oh,
you
I never heard of that. Yeah, that's a good
you
idea.
need it to be measurable. All the same things that you need with goals, you can use with what you're asking for. So
Okay.
when you're saying to somebody, hey, I need help, well, what kind of help do you need? You know, are you asking for a warm introduction? Are you asking for interviewing skills help? You know, what is it that you need? So the more
Right.
specific you can be, the more likely you will be to find that help you need.
Right.
And then the third tip that I wanted to pass along to your viewers is that in a job search, your attitude, the way you show up in the world, the way you come across is your calling card. And it's
Mm.
really, really important to be aware of where you are whenever you get on a call, whether it's a Zoom call or whether it's a phone call. You know, what are you feeling inside? And if you're having a day where you're down in the dumps or you can't get real focused, it might be a really good idea to reschedule that meeting. And if there are people in your life who bring you down or you're in a bad place, you need to get some help getting back up. So
Yeah.
your positive attitude makes a big difference in terms of your success in the job search.
I bet. And that's probably got to be one of the hardest things to deal with because it can get really tough. You've been at it a year, and how do you stay positive and show up
Yeah.
all happy about it? Yeah. And not get discouraged. But I think having the network of people, whether it's just friends that help support you and then the job seeking groups and things like that probably really
Mhm.
helps with
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So if people are interested, where could they get a copy of your book?
My book is called Job Search Mastery. I happen to have a copy of it here, so I'll hold it up.
Love it.
And it is available on Amazon.com.
Great. Well, and we'll provide the link to everybody to the book and to the job search groups, and hopefully, good luck if anyone's out there looking. And don't get too discouraged. Don't give up. Keep at it. And if there's anything we can do to help you, let us know. Thanks, Marsha.
Thanks, Erin.